Oh my gosh, I have to tell you. Okay, so do you follow a bunch of IG? You have a bunch of people you follow on IG who are gurus, right? Who's the
Yes.
chick? Mel Robbins. You follow her. She's like a
Yes.
self-help guru. Today, I'm flicking through IG and I see her talking about the importance of drinking water. And I'm
Oh,
like,
not wine.
okay, exactly. Not wine.
What a
I'm a
loser.
vegetarian. So I'm thinking, really, people follow you to be told to drink water? I mean, it's not that, you
It's
know,
important.
it's important, but
Let
we
me
all know
introduce
this
you
is
to
right.
Stanley.
Okay, you're reading my mind.
Yeah.
Then I watch her this morning. I go, okay, drink your water. I get it. You have water before you have coffee. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Then I'm driving my kids to school. They're clunking around with their gallon-sized Stanleys, their big old thermoses.
Yeah.
How freaking hydrated are these kids? Were we hydrated like that when we were kids? No.
No, I wasn't at all. Either I was drinking apple juice. I don't even remember drinking water. It was probably out of a hose out of the side of the house or something like that. But I don't
Yeah.
remember unless I was really thirsty and I ran inside to chug water. We never carried around water bottles unless it was
No.
maybe playing sports in high school. Like I remember like Propel came out with these different flavors. Other than that, I don't recall ever caring about water.
No, not at all. And these kids now, they have those jugs everywhere they go. They're so hydrated. So hydrated. I had a glass of orange juice for breakfast, a little sip at the water fountain, and a glass of milk for dinner and maybe lunch. And that was it. That was it.
Right.
We survived. But these kids are they're going to excel with all that hydration.
Well, my daughter right now has been begging me for her own Stanley Cup because mom has 3, right? And I don't care. I like these at the moment and the Yetis because they stay cold throughout the night. So if I need a sip of water in the middle of the night, boom, it's like ice cold water. And there's nothing more refreshing to me than that.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. It's just like a highlight and then I can easily fall back asleep. But and so she's begging me for one, and I'm like, why do you care about a Stanley Cup so much? I know it's not me. You don't look at me like I'm cool. She goes, well, one of my girlfriends has a Stanley Cup. And I go, oh yeah? I was like, was she bragging about her Stanley Cup to you? And she was. And she goes, well, yeah, I want to be, cool and have my, and I go, having a Stanley Cup doesn't make you cool. But then I took myself, back for a second. I was like, I remember being young and wanting to be trendy and let in on like the fun, cool things that all the other kids were doing. And there were a lot of times where my mom was like, absolutely not. Like, we don't do that here. We don't care about material possessions. But there were some times where my mom was like, I want you to feel good about yourself and confident about yourself. So I was like, so parenting, thinking about it, I was like, you know what? Instead of just buying her one, I have issued a point system where she has to do stuff around the house or whatever. She could be doing nice gestures, all that stuff. And then I'll issue her a point. So right now we're up to 10. She needs to get up to 20. I'm not going to remind her to do it because this past weekend, Roxanne, it was kind of a boring weekend because of all the weather and stuff. And so I told her, I was like, well, if you want to add some more points, we can go get a Stanley Cup tomorrow if you want, because you can work up to those points and do it all today. And then we'll go buy something fun tomorrow. No, she didn't ask me to do anything. Little lazy turd. I love her so much, but I was just kind of like, okay, well, and I'm not going to keep reminding you. Either you want it or you don't. So I'm going to whip this out today when I pick her up, be like, this is so good. I love my Stanley, but I'm not going to say anything. I just want her to get jealous of this. And then maybe she'll help me out around the house a little bit more. I don't know.
You're trying to make your daughter jealous. And this fits right in. Yeah. This fits right in because I wasn't even going to share this with you, but we're on the topic. I told my daughter she had bad energy this morning.
Good. She probably did. And coming from you, she probably did.
So, but it was my fault. And I said, so I broke her Stanley Cup. These things are supposed to be indestructible. I mean, we're talking about them. They're so prevalent. I'm not crazy about some of the functionality because I knocked it over onto my concrete floor and the whole thing broke. Not the metal part of it, but the top plastic part cracked and broke. So I did that this morning, and she was being a little whiny. And then I'm running around like her butler, and I knock it over, and it breaks. And I saw her start to go from, that's her prized possession. And I go, that just broke because you have bad energy.
And it just came out of your mouth. Like you didn't think about it. It was just like, you have bad energy. And you know what that means? I'm trying not to call you something. So there you go.
And like me breaking things is because of her bad energy that she the universe.
Right.
So.
Well, also that's annoying. I didn't know how expensive these Stanley cups were. They're like $40-$45. What?
It's
crazy. It's a cup, and it
Yeah.
apparently just broke just by falling on the floor in 2.5 seconds. So you know what? I bet you could hit up Stanley and go to customer service and be like, excuse me, Mr. Stanley, you said this is indestructible. I've seen it in a car fire before, but apparently it busted on my floor. And they might replace it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? I am gonna have to do that because those are expensive. She's like,
they are. Yeah.
But you know, don't have bad energy around the house. Be cheerful in the morning, and stuff like this doesn't happen.
Yeah, the morning routine. So I only have to do that during like a Christmas break or something like that. And I'm not. How is doing the morning routine for you now? Because I've always heard it's difficult. I've always heard that.
Okay. It's difficult, but then I also heard before I was doing it regularly, that kids are better in the morning. They're generally better in the morning. They wake up, they're fresh, you know, they're not as whiny when they're in that like witching hour around dinner time. Mm-hmm. So I've always Doug's complained about it in the past, and I know my kids, so I know it's hard, but I've always said to myself, whatever, you get them in the morning when they're their happiest. You know, I'm jealous of you. Right. And then I've been doing it. We've been doing an amazing job. He and I together. Today, I'll tell you why. But today was a nightmare because I was by myself. So she's trying to dig her heels in, won't go to the next step. Okay, brush your teeth. Now do this, now do that. She won't go to the next step. And I'm having to prod her and trying to be nice and trying to be good morning, sunshine, rainbows and puppies and all the good stuff to start your day.
That's how we always start our day.
Yeah.
Always.
Right? Right? But what happens is when you give me no option, I have to turn into bad cop because you are talking back to me and doing whatever. And I have to turn into bad cop and tell you have bad energy and then turn into crazy mom and yell at you and get your act together. So my point is 2 people can do it.
Yeah.
2 people, because what happens now, it is a breeze. I am good. I'm the new one on the scene since I'm home now in the mornings, and I'm good cop all the time. And Doug is usually bad cop. And it doesn't matter because good cop can keep, so it's fine. So it doesn't escalate because they always have that parent on their side. So the fact that Anthony has to do it alone, that's what makes it difficult. That's why the mornings are a nightmare if you have to do it by yourself.
Yeah. So when I do, I'll be like, hey, you know, you sleep in, blah, blah, blah. I think it would be rare for us to both do it together. Because just to alleviate some of that, you know, he has to do it all the time. And if I'm home and I can, then why not? But yeah, 2 parents together, that's what we do for our bedtime routine. It just usually it's beneficial. We can knock out reading. We can knock out. What is up with kids not wanting to brush their hair? Do your kids not want to brush their hair?
They don't want to do anything.
What is that? I'm like, you look weird. I just want to be like, you look crazy. Brush your hair.
Okay. And then when you brush it for them,
oh my
God, never good enough. It's never good enough. I have bumps. Do it again. I have bumps. Not
my girls. They're not that particular. Aubrey has a sensitive head. And by the way, I grew up with a tender head as well. She will cry and scream. But since her mother grew up with the same thing, I know how to hold her hair. I know how to brush it soft. I also have detangler, expensive, nice detangler that I actually threw some money at to make sure that, because I know the pain.
Anyway, and that's one of those things. You just put the more the better. Just pour the whole bottle in her head and it works.
Exactly. Yes.
Quantity is important with that. Yes.
It doesn't matter. She still doesn't want me to brush her hair or anything like that. I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. But I refuse to. I don't know. Some therapists would say it doesn't matter. Let her look weird or strange, and it's just school, or she's at the age. But also, I don't want to walk outside with somebody who looks like a Tasmanian devil, and maybe I care too much, but our kids are beautiful, but just can you do something? Don't be so lazy all the time.
Listen, I know the look you're talking about because my kids have it a lot, like the wild.
Right.
I've been out in the woods.
Yes.
I've been at a rave.
In their hair. Yes, exactly. Oh, what are you doing? Yeah. It's so strange. I don't know what that is, but in my household, it's like it's horrible. I got to tell you one embarrassing thing that happens to me this week. So I took Aubrey for her wellness appointment, and this happened yesterday. Okay. So we're at the wellness appointment and things are going good. She's in a good mood. I picked her up early. And so we're at the doctor's office and she thinks she's going to get a lollipop. And I'm like, no, stop eating so much sugar. But anyway, she's in a good mood. I'm giving her a pen so she can draw on the deli paper that they have on top of the chair. And then all of a sudden I smell something travels so quick and fast up my nose. It hits my brain and it hurts. And it's so pungent and disgusting. I look at her. I go, did you just fart in here in this small room? And she goes, no. And I go, well, I didn't fart. So there's only one person left. And we're in this tiny little bitty room and we're waiting for the doctor just to walk in and be hit in the face with ass. And I'm just, I was utterly shocked and so embarrassed. And it was just, yeah, I know. And but it was one of those where it doesn't dissipate. It was like sticking. It was
hovered.
Sad. And I'm like, I had to make a quick decision after almost forcing myself for a minute of smelling like disgusting sulfur. And I had to open the door and I took my phone and I was like, and I looked at her.
Yeah.
Like laughing, I go, this is not funny.
I know.
This is gross. Anyway,
you know what's crazy is growing up with a sister, we weren't like that. We weren't like into, I didn't even say the word fart. I would just say toot or pass the gas. Like we were not we're kind of proper, I would imagine. We didn't make a thing about it. Then when you grow up and you like get married or you hang around a guy, which my husband is not like that, but when you have your boyfriend and then you realize like, oh, guys are into all this and it's just, they're gross, right?
They are gross.
Like a house full of brothers, that's what they would do. That's
fart on each other.
Yes. Yeah. But let me tell you, my girls are like that. And I'm not like that. And their dad's not like that. So where's this coming from? They think it's hilarious. They'll like, I'll walk into one of their rooms. What happened? And they're like proud, like that was me. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like a proud moment. Like I'm gonna impress my mother today. I'm not gonna bring home an A. I'm gonna pass gas.
Yeah, she's gonna need to fumigate.
Right. Yeah. My kids are like that too. So my dad is very much similar to you and your husband. Like not a lot of potty humor. No. Mm-hmm. So my mother is the complete opposite. She loves talking about, she's a nurse, by the way. So passing gas she has a fart machine that I grew up with in the house.
Oh my gosh.
And she has one at her house now. She has the app on her phone. She likes starting up conversations with the girls that are like about that. And the girls, they're at the perfect age. Our girls are around the same age. And it's just the funniest thing ever.
Oh my gosh.
No matter what.
I love it. That's like an extra bonus grandma trait.
Yeah.
Like grandma loves toots.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's endearing too to them because now they have something in common. Have your kids ever like really embarrassed you in front of like a professional or in public?
Not like coming in the room after they did. Oh, one of my daughters was holding going to the bathroom for too long. Number two. Yeah, and I think we were at the Breakers in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
In their pool.
That's nice.
After swimming, it's really nice. And after swimming, she went running to the cabana and something was running after her. Oh, she was having but God bless that little girl. She was like, we dealt with it. We cleaned her off and everything. So, but she was just sitting there the rest of the day, like Charlie Brown in it, slumped. Yeah. She was not feeling good about herself. Yeah.
How could I ever let this happen? What have I become?
When she's older and old enough to like comprehend and understand, we're going to tell her, you had a really bad diarrhea accident at the pool at the Breakers.
Okay. I have something disgusting to ask you. And I know I can talk to you about anything. Yeah. So on this, have you ever, as an adult, accidentally shit your pants?
I have come running to the bathroom.
Okay.
After I got a what was it? What are those called? Colonoscopy.
A colonoscopy?
No. A colonic.
Oh, you're getting a cleanse.
Colonic. Yeah, I loved it. It was like, I thought it was great. Like, it did exactly what it was supposed to do. But you're not supposed to go grocery shopping and do things after. You're supposed to go straight home. And I was like, oh, I'm good. That worked out great. Thank you. I'm going to run by the grocery store. And the grocery store, you feel your stomach start to rumble like Dumb and Dumber. Like, and then just, barely made it. Running, sprinting to the bathroom. Yeah. So what about you? So, I feel like, how was your day? How was your day?
So the answer is yes. It was a complete accident. It's only happened one time. And it had to be like 15 years ago, but it was a moment that you never forget. So I was getting sick with the flu, I believe. I wasn't feeling well. And I remember I was like, well, maybe if I dress a certain way, like I had my nice cute jeans on. I think they were Miss Me jeans at that point. Remember Miss Me jeans with like the rhinestones on the back?
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And I had like a cute top on, nothing crazy. I was like, maybe. And then I still felt bad. And I was driving into the station. And then all of a sudden my stomach started rumbling. And then I sneezed. And it was a really big, hard, aggressive sneeze. And as I sneezed, in the car, it happened at the same time, and I was like driving, and I sneezed, and I was like, oh my god, what do I do? I'm gonna be late. Because you go with the show, and we start live, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't go to work. It was So I was like, I remember texting an intern like, hey, I'm gonna be late today. Are you okay? Yeah, I just had like a little bit of an accident. And honestly, I was like, should I tell her? Should I not? And then I actually told her. I was like, I accidentally just shit my pants. I'll be back. Anyway, I had to throw out my jeans, and those are expensive jeans, and I was like super broke at the time, but I couldn't bring myself to keep the pants. So anyway, I had to throw out my pants. Oh my gosh. Which is really awful.
You have to. Yeah, especially if you like those rhinestones and whatnot. Maybe you could cut the rhinestones off and do a craft with them. Could have saved them.
These shitty rhinestones. Expensive shitty rhinestones. I will make a t-shirt out of you or something. Yeah. So, well, we always have good stories.
Yeah, we do. Okay. Well, I love these stories. I'm going to go use the restroom right now just to